Today I'm going to consider two examples of the connection between histograms and a box plot. They convey similar information but in different ways. So this bottom histogram, this one is of a normal distribution. So I'm just going to point that out. So this is for a normal distribution, and we can see that this box plot, right, it corresponds to the center of the data, and here this is the median, which in this case is equal to the mean when normal. Okay, and we can see that it's symmetric. Okay, so it has about the same length in these boxes. What this first box is you've seen from your textbook that this first box is the first quartile, Q1, this is the median, and this is Q3. This is the upper fence right here, this is the lower fence. But the key thing I want you to take away is that it's nice and symmetrical. It tells us where the center of the data is. So this is the center. And so it would be reasonable to think, if you looked at this box plot, that hey, most of the data is accumulated around the center right here, and so it might have a nice normal curve. Okay, of course you should verify that by looking at the histogram, and instead of having values on the x-axis, we're marking the first quartile, the third quartile, the median, the upper fences and lower fences. Okay. For this other histogram, we can see that it's not normal. And so we can see that in this data. So it's not normal. In fact, it's skewed. And we can see that by the fact that it's not symmetrical. Okay. Most of the data occurs in this very early stage right here. So from here to here, that's the concentration of the data. And then here there's outliers. Outliers or long tail. Okay. And long tail just means that there's very few data points out here, but they do occur. Few data points with large values. Okay. And so this is definitely not normal, it's skewed, it's long-tailed, and so that's one of the key takeaways. Now, the median of this data is about right here, and it's supposed to correspond to that median point right there. Okay, so just a few things about the correspondence between histograms and box plots, that there is a correspondence. They can first of all tell you if your data is symmetrical, possibly normal, if it's skewed, what the outliers are. Then the last thing is that the box plot consists of the median, the first quartile, and the third quartile. Then it has what's called the upper fence, that's F3 and F1. So the median, that divides 25% of your data, your bottom 25. This divides 50% of your data, so half is above, half is lower. This is 75% of your data has that value or less. The upper fences, this is Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. this is Q1 minus 1.5 times IQR. And IQR stands for interquartile range. So that's Q3 minus Q1. Okay. Anything above or below these fences is considered a possible outlier. So for the above data, in the first plot, there's lots of potential outliers that's characterized by the long tail.